You guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Sham channel. How are you guys doing? I know it's been a while. I've not been as regular as usual to make these videos or even live streams. I do apologize for that. I've just been busy with corporate world, corporate job. These are the types of days when I wish that I was doing this full time with you guys, for you guys, creating as much content as possible about our beloved Inter. And today, obviously, what we are here to talk about, it's back. It's back. Our beloved Champions League, the champions. And of course, we know we are against Atlético Madrid. And we, Inter, of course, we could not come into this game in better form. Last game, I didn't get to react to do the post-match reaction, but 4-0 against Salernitana. Yes, it's the worst team in Italy right now, but 4-0. Dumfries came back from injury. Good performance. Lautaro got a goal. Thuram got a goal. We even got Nautovic a goal. And of course, now we are 9 points clear of Juve in Serie A. Juve drew. Milan lost. So great mood, great form. Injury-wise, we are looking really, really good. Only Cuadrado at the moment is out. Sensi, Sensi is out. Cherby is out. That's the only main big one to really talk about. But apart from that, we are coming into this game in really, really good shape, good form. And I'm using this Opta analyst article here to kind of guide me through this because Atletico, of course, we know them. They've, I don't think they need any introduction, but over the last few years, they've changed a little bit. It's not the same Atletico. It's not the same Simeone that we've always known and appreciated. Well, I have appreciated. A lot of people don't. They're a different beast now, Atletico. So we are going to look at that quickly. And as the preview also here says, it's kind of Inter are seen as the favorites going into this. This is their Opta prediction analyst algorithm, whatever you want to call it. They saying Inter 52% likely to win, and the draw is in between that, and then Atletico with a 22.8% chance of winning, which I think is a little bit unfair. If you ask me, especially when the draw was made, the tie for me is a 55% to Inter to 45% to Atleti. Because yes, the form of Inter is great, and on the other hand, Atleti have not been too great. I mean, you can see in the La Liga they're at the moment fourth, 3 points behind Barca and way off the title race. They're not shipping they're shipping a lot more goals than they used to in the past. 26 goals conceded in 25 games, which is still really good, but 1 goal a game isn't too bad. But way off the pace of Real Madrid, have only conceded 16. And behind a team like Girona, of course, are doing really well this season, maybe overachieving, but they shouldn't be that far behind. And then in general, they're not as that scary Atletico Madrid team, but at the same time, it still is Atletico Madrid, and they've had a Simeone for this is the 13th season, I believe, at Atletico Madrid. And when it comes to these big games, as I'm saying, yes, Simeone now in Atletico play more expansive, more modern, whatever you want to call it, type of football, more build up from the back, more possession based, more patterns of play, less terrorism. But when it comes to these big Champions League nights or big games in general, a lot of the times we do see Atletico revert back to those, classic Simeone Atletico types of performances. And you'll see that. I think we'll see that tomorrow. Because this is the predicted lineup for tomorrow for Atletico, 8 p.m. UK time kickoff. By the way, guys, remember a 3-5-2, so same as Inter, but you know what this means. It won't be a 3-5-2. It will be very much a 5-3-2, or even a 5-4-0, because as you see up front, big miss for them at the moment. Although he's even made a special super recovery and it needs to be investigated, because this guy was literally on February 11th, as the tweet here on the left says, We saw pictures of him crying because he injured his knee and it looked really serious. And now, not even 10 days later, he's back in full training with the team. He was in full training, and he is going to be available tomorrow, but he's not going to start. But he should be back for the return leg. But an amazing recovery by Morata. But he's not going to be there tomorrow up front, which means that you see Griezmann, Llorente up front, which means there will be no reference point. Llorente is a guy who's played a lot, started off as a centre mid, but under Simeone, I think he plays a lot more on the right-hand side, right wing back, right mid. But in the recent games, he started to play up front. He's super versatile. He's one of those players that I think he can do a job everywhere. But this is not his position by trade. So he's going to be roaming around a lot of the place. He's probably going to try to pick up pockets in between the lines, roam out to the right-hand side where he likes to go and drift. So yeah, not really a reference point. Not a guy that's going to be a target man, play with his back to goal, bring others into play. It's going to be a different type of look for Inter defenders. And same on the other side, Antoine Griezmann. We know this guy is not a striker, not a typical striker at all. He's another one who's going to be roaming around all over the place, left-hand side, right-hand side, in the middle, even, go deep, go in behind. So again, it's going to be almost like playing two false nines. So tricky for Inter. And then, defensively, they are, I think my prediction is, you guys let me know, my prediction is they are going to be sitting deep, making it hard for Inter, plugging the gaps, and also, getting stuck in, making things, putting that green in, and maybe, riling up a few Inter players. Because when I think of Atletico in the Champions League recently, my mind goes back to a couple of seasons ago, Man City, Atlético Madrid, and they made that game so difficult for Man City. There were brawls, there were fights, there were arguments, there were red cards, and in the end, of course, Man City progressed. But Atletico made it difficult. And as far as I believe, second leg is the Wanda Metropolitano, which I actually don't know if that's still called the Wanda Metropolitano. But anyway, it's at the Atletico Stadium, and there they are undefeated, I believe, this season. And let's have a quick look at some stats here. Nerazzurri have only lost one of the last 13 games. Griezmann has scored 31 of totals, 169 goals in the Champions League. So, he's an all-timer. Let's have a look. Of course, we are expecting big things from Lautaro Martinez. Win the Champions League, we have to admit. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is his year to finally step up. And the Champions League has not always been that great, and especially when it comes to these knockout games. Last season he kind of stepped up a little bit more, but if we get the Lautaro that we've been getting in Serie A, Supercoppa this year, then we're beating Atletico easily. Otherwise, we're gonna need the other guys to step up, like Marcus Thuram. Other quick key stats: Simeone side also scored 17 goals in the 6 groups games in this competition. So again, showing that they are a different side now. When you gotta play ball, or when they need to play ball, the Simeone side team can play ball. So I am predicting, as I said, more of the gritty side of things, but they are able to mix things up. As you see here, they've combined the traditional grit of a Simeone side with a newfound attacking groove. So Simeone has, he's got that reputation, but unlike maybe the Allegris and the Mourinhos of this world, he's kind of started to adapt to how football is moving. And so maybe this game they might be closing things out, but in the next game they can switch things up. And they've, of course, got quality in the squad. De Paul has been in great form this season. Griezmann has been one of the best players, not just in La Liga, in the world, in my opinion. Quickly, just have a look at some of his stats here. Look where he's ranking in terms of passes, non-penalty goals. He's scoring a goal every 2 games. Assists, look at that. Progressive carries, take-ons, passes, tackling. He's doing a bit of everything. And he's doing it really, really well. And he's, once again, after he joined Barca, his level dipped down for a couple of seasons. He wasn't good, but now his level is right back up. I think, for me, again, I reiterate, he's top 5 in the world for me at the moment as football. We don't really have those Messi Cristianos now. So I think he really is up there with the best. So obviously he's one to watch out for. De Paul, I've always been a big fan of. But apart from that, nothing too scary about this Atleti team. On the bench, they have some good guys like Memphis, who's contributed a lot off the bench, and of course they've got Correa, not our Correa, not the really the useless barbecue merchant. This is the Angel Correa, who's also not amazing, but he's more useful than our Correa. He's able to provide some impact off the bench. And some interesting young players like Samuel Lino, really good transition into a wing back now, attacking wing back. Riquelme, Barrios, some good young players as always for Atleti. But now let's finish up with us. The most important thing, I saw Inzaghi's press conference today and Marcus Thuram, both of them together. Very calm, both of them, very controlled. As usual, no mind games from Inzaghi, nothing, no comments out of place, nothing, trying to get in the mind. In fact, it was actually very complimentary of Simeone. He was, of course, a former Inzaghi's teammate at Lazio. He said he's always remained in touch with them, which is interesting to hear, that he's kind of admired his coaching style, always looked to him in terms of for inspiration, or just, he watches Atletico's teams because of Simeone. And he also said, you don't know what type of Atletico could turn up. They can do both sides of of the game. Thuram was complimentary about Lautaro, said he's maybe one of, if not the best striker in the world. It's easy to play alongside him. And Inzaghi kind of hinted at that maybe he's not going to do too many rotations. In my opinion, that's what his comments seemed like. And we saw it against Salernitana. He surprised me. He didn't really rotate too much apart from the wing backs until the second half, which I disagreed with. But in the end, this is what Inzaghi's decision was, and he was right. But this is the lineup for tomorrow, and pretty much what I was expecting and what we want. The only change I would make, as usual, is especially how Dumfries played in the last game against Salernitana and all the rest he's kind of had now coming back from the injury. I would start Dumfries. I want to attack tomorrow. We are at San Siro. I want to take the lead. I don't want Atletico to go back to the Wanda or to the stadium with a 0-0 or a 1-1 or even a lead. Like, I want to take initiative. I want to take control of this game, which I think Denzel Dumfries allows you to do that. But apart from that, we know we're at that stage now, which is really good. We know what best lineup 11 is. Of course, Acerbi's missing, so De Vrij comes in. But still, this is a really, really good lineup. Good enough to beat this Atletico team. They just need to make sure that they remain calm. They don't fall into any of those traps. Inzaghi compared this game to maybe the Porto game last year. Conceição's, we call him the B-Tech Simeone or the Simeone light. We know Porto tried to make things a bit more physical, a bit more, try to get some players riled up, especially in that first leg, if you guys remember. Otavio was trying his best. In the end, he got sent off. But these Athletic players could do the same, so they need to make sure to remain focused. And if Atletico do come out and play that style of football where they leave the ball to us, then again, got to remain calm, not try to force things too much. But at the same time, we do definitely need to score a goal or two here at home and make use of the advantage of the San Siro, which is going to be amazing, packed, and passionate as always. It's going to be an amazing night at the San Siro. I wish I was there to watch this game, and I think we will take this. I think we can beat this Simeone team and take an advantage to the next leg. And my prediction is Inter 2, Atletico 1. Lautaro Martinez, a guy who almost signed for Atletico before he signed for Inter. He was this close. He was this close to signing for Atletico. In fact, he actually signed, but there was just a few other formalities, and then Inter were able to step in. So I predict Lautaro to step up, and then I think there will be a goal from midfield, Mkhitaryan or Barella or Hakan to step in with a goal. Maybe Frattesi off the bench, who is available now off the bench. That is my prediction. You guys let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on what I talked about in this preview and what your match predictions are for tomorrow. Can't wait for it. It will be a really, really exciting one. Again, I don't know if I will be able to do a post-match live reaction because I'm once again away for work and I won't be at home. But I will be here with you to react to it in some way. Ciao ragazzi, always, Forza Inter. Let's bring it home.